Good morning. Woo! And it is a good morning in Jacksonville, Florida. Finally. This is Sunday the 13th. And let me tell you something, folks. It is cool. It is actually cool outside. You're probably thinking, what's this? Well, you know how those guys have all those remotes? All them, Inshore Pro Tour Red Bass dudes. You know, they got them remotes hanging around their neck. You got the remote for your power pole. You got your remote for your GPS trolling motor. You got your remote for your stereo system. You got your remote for your beer holder. You know, all that. I see these guys with this bullshit hanging around their neck. Well, guess what? This is the Jetty Wolf version of remotes. Well, not really. This is something I'm going to show you a little bit later. A little bit later. Oop. I'm going to show you what this is. And you already know what this is, because I did a video on it. You already know what this is. And now I'm going to show you what this is later on, hopefully. Capt Gadget item. I'm out here today. I'm just throwing soft plastics and some Yo-zuris. I'm just messing around. I could not stand myself. I had to go out and mess around today. Oh, but here's another little tidbit. I'm back to my old used to be. And I'm loving it. I go walking through old Wally's World the other day. And what do I see? Two brand new medium action 7-foot ugly stick intracoastals. I had these back when I got started in the charter business 20 years ago. I had sets of these of all different actions. And I seen these and I said to myself, I gotta have them. I gotta have them. I've always loved these rods. They're just so durable. You know, they got damn good eyes on them. Fuji Real C. No, I'm not a huge fan of cork. And the action on them, for me, the action is just fine. Utility. Got a big old rubber cap on the bottom, and they throw lures and stuff, no problem. So, I'm back to my old used to be. Oh, it's just so beautiful out here. But I promised you on other videos I was going to show you something else in the gadget category. So, we'll get to that. There we go, folks. Told you, I'll be back. Believe it or not, right on the side of the boat, these dudes are coming up and going, popping minnows right off the surface. So, there we go. Let's see, what did I just catch him on? I just caught this trout on matrix shad, little bullet head. And then this, believe it or not, is a baby gulp leech. Just for a little flavor enhancer. Who let them dogs out? Well, this is as good a time as any to show you what this tool is. Since I need to tie on a leader, that's what this is for. I just lost like a $15 lure, so I need a new leader anyhow, right? You know what that feels like? I've had it one day. Well, I've used it. Today was the first time I used it. This is what I call this the Al Bundy. So, yeah. Man, lost a really kind of good and very expensive plug. And unfortunately, it was a sinking plug. So, I'm going to show you what this is. It says Knot Assist 2.0 right there. Alright, so what this is another item from Daiichi-Seiko. Remember my line spooling recycle machine that I bought? Well, that thing is so handy, it's absolutely ridiculous. Well, they also make this. And what it does is it folds up and then you pull the little lever and it kind of makes it compact. Not really, but I'll describe it to you. It's got rubber pads in here, in each one of these spots right here, that the line goes, because it's going to help you tie a knot. And then on this side, it tightens up when you flick those levers. So what you actually do is you use this as a cheater tool, just like this was a sort of a cheater tool for probably a knot you could do on your own without it. This was the Daiichi-Seiko tool. Well, this is to make the FG knot. And again, this is not an item that you can find in the United States for whatever reason, just like you couldn't find hardly this in the United States. I think it did come from someplace in Las Vegas, but I don't know how they got it. But all right, also on Amazon, and I'll put the link in the description below. So how this works is you use these little pads right in here to help hold the line while you do an FG knot. If you're not familiar with an FG knot is basically a knot where you're taking braid to mono and you're never tying it. What you're doing is you're going to take the braid and you're going to create a Chinese finger around the mono, and it turns out to be a very skinny, nice thin knot that's got unbelievable breaking strength, and it goes in and out your guides like super duper easy. The FG knot is something you can, of course, tie. You can see it on YouTube. There's guys tying it and they're not using a cheater tool, but being that I'm Captain Gadget, I'm going to use the cheater tool. All right, the first thing that you do is you take your tag end here of your braid and you put it in these rubber pads and then put it around here like that. Using this, snaps it closed. Then you're going to take this end and you're going to go in here like this. Go wrap that around. All right, so then this is your holder here. Then you take your leader material, whatever it happens to be. Let me get the end. There's an end. And we're going to wrap this with a little bit sticking out. Wrap this around this pad. And then push the button down and it closes it so it's good and tight. So, as I understand it, because I'm not an expert, but I've been playing with this and tying some knots now. This will probably be my maybe 10th time. What you do is you're going to go through and you're going to loop around. Loop around your mono. Then, that's the reason this is shaped this way. You're going to hold this open. You're going to pinch that right at first. And you're going to go inside and out, pulling this way all the time. inside, pull it out. That's twice. Inside, pull. There's 3 times around on both sides. Inside, pull. There's 4 times. Can you see right there how it's starting to form loops going this way? All right, so I'm still gonna hold it. And I do about 10 times. There we go. You can see this stacking up on the inside right here, okay? So then the next thing you wanna do is, I believe, we wanna go in this way, and you're gonna do a quick half hitch right here like this. Okay, that's gonna hold it right now, so then you can kind of take your hands off of it. Okay, now we have to kind of secure it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take and we're gonna open this clip. We're gonna pull our mono out of here, and we're gonna take this out of here, and we're gonna swap this. Okay, so then I'm gonna bring this around, bring your mono around, go in, clip it in. Okay, I got wind to deal with here. So now we're going to undo this one, and we're going to put the mono in there with it. Okay, so we're going to take this, wrap it around, get it nice and tight, and now we got our mono in there. So what you end up having now is just your tag end here of your braid. And then all you're going to do now is more half hitches. And run it up, pulling tight all the time and holding this open, squeezing this. Okay, then maybe a backwards sort of half hitch here. All right. Couple more. So we're stacking up half hitches on top of what essentially is turning out to be our Chinese finger right here. Okay. Then maybe I'm going to kind of pull this a little tighter. Then maybe, you do some doubles. I'll try to do, I think, well, there's just one. Okay, I'm going to try to do some doubling around here. This is 20-pound braid. 20-pound braid, 30-pound leader. I was just getting attacked by a flying bug. Alright, so you do doubling around again, maybe. So, now I've got a whole bunch of half hitches tied up real tight. Okay. So then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to undo it. Grab your little skizzers, and you're going to go in and get rid of that tag end there, because now it's looking more like a knot, see? But still, we're going to go in here, redo that, and we're going to stack up now some half hitches to sort of bind in that piece of mono that you just cut off. Okay, that little end. We're going to kind of cover it up, I guess you could say. Okay, maybe I'll go this way. And I'll tell you, you know, the real deal people on the Daiichi-Seiko website, you know, or whatever, they're doing it in such laboratory conditions, such perfect lighting. I think I will probably add their link, or add a link to them, so you can see the real laboratory conditions. Okay, so there you go. That's pretty much it. I'm going to now just do something kind of wifty here. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to do a super clincher right there at the very end. Okay, so now I'm going to go and I'm going to cut my tag end with my rusty skizzers. So there's your knot, folks. You can see that right there. I mean, there's just a tag end sticking out a little bit right there of the braid. But that is basically a Chinese finger, okay? So let's get this all undone, because all this cheater tool here is just a holder. That's all this thing is. It's just holding things for you. So when it gets all done with it here, I like to wet it still. There you go. I mean, I'm pulling on that, folks. It is tight, tight. And that's a Chinese finger onto your mono. And see how skinny and thin that is? I mean, there's no bumps, nothing to hang up on your guides. That's it. And this tool here, like the Daiichi-Seiko tool, I think $33, you know, $8 or $10 or something for shipping all the way from Japan. Took about 2 weeks through this one. About 2 weeks. And I found this one through a Amazon store. It was on Amazon. It was a store over in Japan, and they sent it. And it's a nice little light tool. It's just a tool. It's a gadget. It's another thing that I'll probably get the use out of big time. Just like this. If you remember, this made the knot where you take two pieces, you loop them, make a loop. 2 pieces you lay together, you make a loop. You go in with this tube, you twirl it like 4 times, then you go back and you grab the tag ends and you pull it through, and it made a really cool knot for really light line. Now, of course, this you could do with some really heavier lines if you want. So, there you go. There's the 2 gadgets just for tying different types of knots. This knot here, I've never seen before. I don't know what the deal is, but the Daiichi-Seiko tool makes its own knot. This one here makes the ever so strong FG knot, which I think, I'm not sure. I mean, FG, I think at first they started calling it the GT knot or something. I don't know. I don't know really the history behind it, because I thought maybe they had to come up with a better knot just for catching those giant trevallies, you know, vertical jigging. But this is the tool, and this is the other tool. And when I did the little how-to with this one, I promised you that there's another tool coming. So there it is. It is the Daiichi-Seiko Knot Assist 2.0.